Hi everybody, here I am trying to get a commission finished for Christmas. Well, not really commission as much as the commission was to fill a rather large empty frame that was lying available for a friend, and she suggested rather that it should be a portrait of my front door with the cat and everything in it and perhaps a few chairs, and somehow I haven't got round to it. So I'm rather hoping that this puffin picture will fill the bill, but I've got quite a lot to do to it. As you see, I've done some alterations. I've fished it out from my folder and thought, well, that might do, but it's got quite a lot to be done to it. So I thought you'd like to see what I do if I'm desperate, trying to finish a picture, desperately trying to finish a picture. And it's, as you see, quite large. All of the little bits in it need attention. There's things like this leg here, a bit of white gouache. Some people would say I'm cheating. I'm not using pure watercolour, but it's a sketch, so that's what I'm relying on to get me through this one. The light hitting the leg there. Maybe I can come back and add some watercolour to that later. The cheek of this bird here needs lightening up. This is from way back from Skookum Island, Puffins on Skookum Island. I used to go there every year. Wonderful place. You have it almost to yourself and be so close to these seabirds. And here I am touching the white in. I don't want to use too much white, but I want a bit of back reflection here and there. See, there's some watercolour staining into the breast of that bird up there. I'm just going to add a bit of white there just to pick it out a bit. I've done a bit of rubbing out on this already, washing out. This doesn't always quite go back to white, so I know what I'll do. I'll do a little yellow edges to the bill and so on. As you know, puffins can carry enormous numbers of fish in their bill at one go. They have this special arrangement around the bill, a kind of rubberized bill effect, which enables them to take a firm grip on, quite yellow enough, firm grip on a number of fish. They can catch a fish and then store it and catch another fish. Quite a talent. I like to zoom in a bit, I think. What about zooming in a bit more? So you can see me doing some of these details. There we are. Now I'm going to, this head here, you see, has got nothing in it at all. I've wiped that out and changed that. Some yellow in there. Got to make sure. Oh, missed that. There we are. Some yellow in there. And then this puffin over here. That could do with a bit of yellow around it. Around the bill, the edging of the bill, and the special arrangement they've got for catching numbers of fish. They're great little birds, puffins. I think most people know them. Very endearing. They have that sort of clown look to their faces. Yeah, we had a bit of yellow there, a bit of green there. And just looking to see where I can improve it. Now you see this bird here is absolutely unfinished. I've got to really think about this one. So I'm going to add a lot more white to the breast. Bring the white round and then make sure that its foot is there. The beginning of its leg is there, sorry, the top of its leg. And then I'm going to have to actually put gouache in here for its foot. It's going to be an orange foot there, but to get that orange back, I'm going to have to do a white undercoat, I think. There we are, the white undercoat of that foot. Around the edge there. Perhaps knock out a little bit of that bulk there, just give it a bit more shape. And I'll have to work into the wings as well. So I'll do a nice rich purpley blue on the back here. How's that looking on camera? Quite good? No, a bit lighter, I think. Down there. Then the wings fade down to a kind of rather more browny quality down here, but going to need a lot later, a lot of definition put in there. Quite a longish tail sticks out of that. Well, not long really before, but longer than the wings. They use their feet, you see, they use their feet as to help them in flight, for braking in flight and for adding a bit of extra tail area for aerodynamics. This bird is going to be quite large. This bird at the back I'm going to alter slightly. Give that a bit more definition as well on the back there, give that a bit more. That's it, good. Put it in there, hope you can see that, yes, good. This bird here is going to need a bit more definition, purpley brown. They sometimes get quite light on the head, although they're black and white, allegedly black and white birds, they show a lot of light. They reflect, even the black plumage reflects quite a lot of light, especially towards the end of the season when they start to get a bit frayed. Dashing in and out of their tunnels with the feeding the youngsters. Let's hope she likes puffins. If she doesn't like puffins, I'm sunk. I'm going to spring it on her as a surprise. So she may not quite so keen. I'm going to put a bit of... I do things as I notice them rather, so there's no real kind of method to my madness. But a bit of light on that one there, so there we are. I've just added a bit of light to this bird here. I've added light as if the sun is shining on the back of its legs and on its plumage there. It's quite good. So I'm liberally using gouache just to get this finished, but I will actually use watercolour over the gouache eventually. I've got to move this around. I'll zoom out a bit now so you can see the whole picture. It's a very large picture. It's a very large watercolour actually. A1 size, is it? Something like that. A2, A1, I'm not sure. Soften that into, soften the gouache into that. There we are. Obviously a lot around here I've got to complete as well. So I'm going to mix up a nice big green now. Yellow-green, mixture of emerald, green and yellow. Make a nice bright green, and these are the coastal plants, things like, there we are, things like sea campion and they've got quite small flowers. The thing about puffins is they are small birds actually, but they often look big because the vegetation around them is also quite small. The seaside or the cliff-top vegetation is often consists of quite small flowers, like sea pinks and like some sea pinks up here. Put some sea pinks in up here. Start putting these in on stalks. Lovely pinks on stalks. I might take some sea round there, I think. So I'll have to obliterate some of this area up here that I've washed out. I don't quite know what I'm going to do with it yet. That was a puffin, I think, suggested up there. So I'll have to forget that one, I think. Carry on with my greens down here. Perhaps add more greens. Again, this is a mixture of sea pinks and campions. Is it bladder campion or is it? No, it's not bladder campion, is it? It's sea campion, I think. It survives by the sea on the cliff tops. Lovely little, hundreds of little white flowers it produces in clumps that the rabbits don't eat. The rabbits eat the sea pinks, so often they don't stand a chance on Skookum Island once the rabbits get at them. So I'm dabbing away, trying to make something of all this. Not sure what to do with this bird. It looks a bit tubby, but maybe I'll cut it down with a bit of gouache later. So let's put some nice, let's blob some nice pink in. keep it fairly light. I'm going to have to do something about that tissue or something on that, because it's not. I found a bit of old tissue here. I should have equipped myself with tissue before I started. On we go. I don't know if it'll be finished before Christmas. I'm really not sure. That seems very... I might have to wash that out. That seems very bright. Bit of clicking colour up here. I'm going to... perhaps I'll just suggest that. Pretend the puffins there. If you get that. Some of the puffins up here are looking quite nice at the top. These puffins at the top. They again need a little bit of white here and there just to pick them out. That puffin could do with a nice dark purpley wing and folded wing. And breast feathers here. There we are. A bit purple. Come back with a... Yes, I wonder what can knock out purple. Perhaps a dark green, a bit of green in that can knock it out. Make it grayer. Or some chestnut brown, something like that. This is folded wings behind, and then folded wings at the side. It's primaries, I should say, shouldn't I? I'm very technical. It's a fun picture. I like it. A bit green under the wing there, just a bit more green. Green yellow under the wing, it's reflecting vegetation perhaps. I'm dying to get to grips with this head here on this bird, so I'm going to have a go now. I'm going to use kind of brown orange for the head top. They're reflecting quite a lot of... Oh, it's white already, that doesn't matter, that's watercolour effect. I'll have to come back to it. It looks like a puffin that's turned into a red-crested pochard. Darwinism at work. We can come back to this bird now. Now some of this underpainting I've done has completed. I've still got white on the brush, which is no good, so I'm rinsing out the... So working with gouache now much more, so that in fact it has its problems. I need to take that in there. I've got nice little curved scimitar wings, longer tail as I said. And that can run in too much, there's a bit of shadow under there. There we are, just pop that in. A bit of undercutting there. We've got to, I think that white I put in for the foot is probably in the wrong place, but it doesn't really matter. Oh no, that's alright, that's good. It's coming on quite well. So you might put that in while it was still damp up there, but it doesn't matter. I'm hacking in with the gouache now, so I've given up all pretense of trying to pretend it's a pure P-U-R-E watercolour. I mixed up a colour there and I can't for the life of me remember where I was going to put it. Down here. Bits of cliff here. Shame I can't include on their burrows, but I'm just going to put a bit of extra colour on there. Again, a little bit too much, I think. The brush is a bit coarse. There we are. Now I'm going to dab that out a bit. I'm not happy with that, but I'll come back and work on that. This is fun actually, because all the main compositional problems have all been done. This is wonderful. And a long time ago comes into it. As I say, I fished it out of my folder. Haven't got any fine brushes, all gone walkabout, other projects. So I'll have to use the finest brush, which isn't really quite fine enough. So anyway, I'll persevere, otherwise I'll have to stop and start again. There we go. I'll have to think about that one. He's lost a bit of whatever he had. That little puffin. And so on until I finish this commission. Luckily, the lady in question enjoys painting for its own sake. She likes painting for its own sake, not simply a realist composition. So I can probably get away with quite a lot. There we are, shadow under there, shadow under there, shadow under there. Again, I'm working quite kind of spontaneously, really. Just working on bits that I noticed at that moment that need doing. Bit of shadow there, probably. So yeah, I'm quite pleased with that puffin now. The wing isn't really got quite the right catenary curve on that. Those are the secondary coverts come round there, and then there'll be a bit of dark. I'm using Payne's Grey now, just to put the shadow in on this side. A bit more emphasis on the crown there. Maybe I ought to do a print of it, come to think of it. I get my friend to run it through his giant machine at this size, so it'll be too expensive at this size. Anyway, follow this space, I think. Don't know how many minutes I've actually done now, 17 minutes. Do 3 more minutes to make it 20 minutes. That's quite enough, isn't it? Quite enough. Just needs emphasis here and there, shadows, bits of image emphasis, because clearly it never quite does what you think it's going to do. What's happening over here? What can we do with these guys over here? Add a bit of shadow there. Emphasize the tail a bit more. Feathers all sticking out as it comes into land, and uses the feet as well to help it land. Extra air brakes. What can we do? Just as one last kind of demo. Perhaps dot in some of the sea campion centres, so I know where they are. So one there, one there, one there, one there, one there, one there. That's going to need some white paint on it this bit. One there, one there, one there, one there. Do they look right? Who knows? Don't know. Do they look right or not really? In the end, you have to take it away, look at it from a large painting. You have to take it away, look at it from a distance, and make some judgments, and then try and remember what you judged, and come back to it, and then make those corrections. Carry on. Trying, of course, not to overwork it or spoil it, which happens so often, doesn't it? Get some more yellow at the top here. Yeah, have some nice bright yellow. Means action and colour. And these sea pinks get very bright in summer, very bright indeed. I've got to think about what to do with this area up here on the edge here. It's all a bit blank. Might just come over with some seawater. Let's do some work on the waves now. I've got the waves at a distance underneath the cliffs there, so I've got to suggest large waves, sea waves, not pond waves, but that's going to be quite difficult. It's a matter of scale, I think. And it's going to have to deepen around this bird here too. For instance, just discover problems like this, little glitches like that, all the time, work away. Let's use a green, a marine green, a kind of emerald green. See what we can find in there. It's a nice emerald green. See what we can find in the paint pot. So that looks quite heavy, but it will dry lighter, of course. You've got to remember that with watercolour. But you can blot it out or add more watery effect. Even go between these flowers there to pick out the pinks, sea pinks. Well, I think it's quite long enough for the time being. I think I've made some improvements to it. I'll have another go later. So we'll stop now. Hope that eventually the commission proves a success.